Hi everyone, I'm Holly, and for my Stackathon project, I created GitMap, a single-page web application that plots locations of contributors to any open-source GitHub repository on a map. So I came up with the idea for this project. I wanted to use the GitHub API to do something cool. GitHub's API gives you back a lot of data because they encourage developers to create apps for GitHub Marketplace. If any of you have used Travis for your code testing, that's an app that's hosted on GitHub Marketplace. In order to use GitHub's API, you just have to apply for an OAuth token, which will let you do about 5,000 requests an hour, which I actually exceeded during the testing of my app. For this project, I wanted to focus on looking at JavaScript libraries in order to do data visualizations and to get better at working with maps. So this is GitMap. When you go to the app, it currently only renders a welcome message, a form, and then this map here. In this form, I'm going to put in Facebook, and then React for the library, and I'm going to click Map It. And then it's going to map the contributors of that repository on this map here. I have the ability to click on the little octocat, and it'll zoom in on the location of that contributor. And then these components below also rendered when the data was entered. So I have details about the repository. I have a word cloud here that is the languages used in that repository. And then here I have this pie chart, which is the contributions by user. So I have the username, and then below the number of contributions that they've made to this project. So the technology I used for this project, I started out with Boilermaker to set up the initial structure. I also used Semantic UI for the CSS. I used the GitHub API for my data, Mapbox to render the map, and then these 4 libraries below, which I'll go into a little bit more detail. The React Geocode API I used to transform the descriptions of locations into the coordinates, so the latitude and longitude to render on the map. React MapGL is a component library created by Uber that allows you to interface more easily with the Mapbox. And then these 2 components below, I had the pie chart in order to render the pie chart data. So I took in the contributor and then the amount of contributions that they did to the repo. And then for the tag cloud, I was sent back an object that had a key with the name of the language and then the number of bytes of code written in that language for the repository. So the flow of data in my app, the user would enter the owner and then the repo into the form. I would query the API for the contributors, and I would reformat the data that was sent back. A lot of the data that was entered into the React geocode was dummy data, because if you see here for my profile, the data that's entered in is just entered by the user. So some people put in emojis, some people put in planet Earth, things that can't be latitude and longitude. And this was an overview of the components that I used. And the app is live at gitmapheroku.app if anyone would like to check it out.